everyone, Sarah here. We're going to be talking about healing today and how triggering it is, not necessarily for you, but for others around you on your journey to completely transforming your life, especially when you've experienced narcissistic abuse, emotional neglect, emotional abuse in the past. It's going to be extremely triggering. And I'm not talking about just for you, I'm talking about those around you, those who benefited from you being the way that you were, those who benefited from you being one that was easily abused, used, taken advantage of, the old you, the you that used to give everything because you wanted love, you wanted connection in return, and the you that is now giving that love and connection that you longed for and sought after through them to yourself is going to be extremely triggering for them. You healing your inner emotional wounds, you reclaiming and restoring the love that you so desperately wanted, needed, deserved, and desired, and tried to get through them or through accomplishments or through achievements. When you turn that around and you turn it inward and you begin to transform and heal your wounded heart, it's going to be very, very, very triggering for them. They're going to experience their own triggers, their own wounds. They're going to experience rejection, feelings of abandonment, feelings of neglect. As you begin to transform and heal yourself and your heart, they are going to experience, just as you will, the disconnection from the connection with them. They're going to experience the energetic connection, you going this way as you begin to go within and heal and transform, and them staying exactly where they are, or perhaps going even deeper and even darker into their own emotional wounds, because they're going to feel like, you're leaving me. You're too good for me now. Who do you think you are? Because you're going to begin to implement and establish boundaries, healthy boundaries around your own heart, around yourself, around the relationship that you have with yourself. You're not going to project the inner wounds anymore because they'll be healed. They won't be wounds, they'll be scars. They're not there to project the way that you used to, the way that you used to get into this back and forthness with them. And they're going to still be so used to that. They're not doing the work themselves, which most likely, if you're talking about people with highly toxic characteristics and traits, they don't do that because they don't perceive that there's anything that they need to change about them. So when you get into this state of healing your past wounds and traumas, and healing the heartache and the heartbreak that you've experienced, because you get to this place where you realize, it's me. If anything is going to change in my life, it's got to begin with me. I've got to be the one. I've got to be the one that steps up to the plate and takes ownership and takes responsibility for the person that I am. I've got to look at my own inner self. I've got to connect with the inner beliefs that I have, and with the way that I express those and experience those and show them and display them. I am the one. I'm the one who's got to do that. And when you become the one who does that and allow it yourself to receive the gift of inner healing, of powerful inner transformation, of connecting with the unconscious beliefs that you created and you developed with the inner programming that your mind was running from, you begin to change. You begin to become uninterested in playing the games with them. You begin to become uninterested in even saying anything bad about them, because there's a part of you that develops a really strong compassion, a compassion for pain, because not only have you experienced your own, you saw it in them. And for a while, for however long that while was, you put yourself in the place of being the one to try to help them see what you knew that they couldn't see. You saw potential in them, you saw love, you saw this possibility, and you were the one that tried to create that for them so that they could see it for themselves. And it failed. It failed miserably, because you have to be the one for you. You can't be the one for anyone else. You can be there and you can hold the space, but if you don't have that healed, loving, compassionate space within yourself, you're not going to be able to have it for anyone else. And for so long, when you're in the realm of a narcissistic and toxic relationship, you try and step into that space and be that person, be that space for them. And then you experience completely losing yourself in that journey. So part of the reclamation and part of the transformation is acknowledging and becoming aware of that, and acknowledging and becoming aware that it begins with you. The healing journey begins with you, and that's going to be very triggering for them. It's going to be very, very triggering, eye-opening, awakening for those who benefited from you not loving yourself the way that you wanted to be loved. And when you begin to love yourself, when you begin to believe that you're lovable, that you are worthy of love, that you are deserving of love, and that love does not hurt, love is not abuse, love is not manipulation, love is not lies, and you begin to honestly and openly give yourself what you so desperately needed from them, you realize you have it within you. And when you have it within you, no one can take it from you. They realize they can't take it from you anymore because there's a part of you that's not letting that part of them into you anymore the way that you used to. That is what this reclamation and transformation is about. That is what going within to heal your own emotional wounds and pains and past traumas, completely shifting and transforming and rewriting the story of your life. You're no longer the story of this old, useless, helpless, incapable person. You're now the story of the person that you have been all along. You just didn't see it because you were living and looking through the mask of the pain, the projection, those wounds of abandonment. And now that those are healing and transforming and changing, that's going to be very, very triggering for them. So know that that's a part of the journey. And yes, that once you had a connection and a relationship with them, and they're going to be triggered by the new relationship that you're creating and you're developing within yourself. They're going to be triggered by the fact that you no longer engage with the abusive and manipulative behavior the way that you once did. They're going to talk about you. They're going to say things about you. They're going to smear your name. They're going to say things that are lies and get people to believe them as the truth about you. But when you stay in your truth and when you stay in what you know to be true about you, you stay in your self-worth, you stay in your own power, you stay in that what you have to give is so different. You no longer hold on to the anger, the resentment. You no longer hold on to the pain. You see theirs for what it is, and you see that you no longer can play that role in their lives because it takes a willingness to be able to play that role in your own life, to be able to truly transform and change. And when you've gone through an experience with a narcissist, an emotional manipulator, and abuser, you've gone through it for a reason. I truly, fully, and firmly believe that all pain is for purpose. All pain can be used for good. All pain can be used to transform you, to heal you, to reveal within you the things that you need to see that you've been avoiding seeing and blaming other people for and blaming other situations for your current pain, for your current circumstances. All pain, if you allow it, can be used to completely transform you and to heal you from the inside out, to empower you, to better you, to improve you. But it takes a willingness. And when you accept that willingness, when you surrender to it, when you say, okay, I'm ready, I am ready to go within myself, I'm ready to transform the unconscious beliefs that I have about myself so that I can feel so different from the way that I've always felt, so that I can feel true to myself, so that I can feel that I love being alive. I can feel excitement and joy for this day, for this opportunity, for these 24 hours, for these 7 days, for this week, for this month, for these years that I have. And I'm going to use them to my fullest advantage. I'm going to use them to be the change. I no longer want to remain stuck in that pain. And when you do that, it's going to trigger others who are stuck in that pain. If you were raised by a narcissist, if you were in a relationship with a narcissist, they're in that same pain. And for a time, you connected with theirs, you understood it. And when you begin to elevate and grow and evolve and transform and heal yourself, they're going to experience the perception that you're rising and they're lowering. And that's nothing to do with you. You're not healing yourself to hurt them. You're healing yourself to help you so that you can rise, so that you can help others, so that you can be the voice, you can be the display of what's possible, because no one benefits from everyone being down here. And when you step into that space and that place for yourself, it's a true gift for yourself. It is the greatest gift you can give yourself, is the investment in healing from your past emotional wounds, pains, and traumas, to transforming the subconscious beliefs you have about yourself, to changing the thoughts that you have about yourself, to changing the words and the language that you use when you're connecting with other people, to having different actions in your life. You're no longer engaging in fights and this tit for tat, and I'm going to hurt you because you hurt me. You rise above all that, and it's time to rise. And when you rise, it's going to trigger those who believe that they're unable to rise as well. But that is not anything that you need to do anything with. Staying in your power, staying in your truth, and the truth about you, of knowing that you were put here for a reason, you went through that for a reason, knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing that you are lovable, knowing that you have a purpose in this world, and your purpose is not to stay in pain. Regardless of how long you experienced it, your purpose is not to stay in that, because in that you're hurting yourself and you're projecting that hurt and hurting others as well. But when you rise, when you transform, and you change everything about you, it's going to hurt others. Others who have limiting, negative beliefs about themselves, others who believe internally and deeply that they're incapable of doing the things that you're doing, others who are jealous because you used to be where they are and were, and now you're not. And they're going to say bad things about you. And all you need to do is just know that they're entitled to their opinion. But their opinion doesn't define you, because you've risen above that. So that's what I want for you, especially if you've experienced past narcissistic abuse, emotional manipulation. If you've lived through that, you've lived through it for a reason. There's a purpose behind it. There's a purpose for it. And until you do the inner work to heal and transform the unconscious beliefs that you've created, the inner programming that you have about yourself, you're going to find that you continue to get pulled back into that frequency and that energy. You continue to react to those triggers that others benefited from you once having. Because then they could make you feel that they were up here and you were down here. And when the inverse becomes true, you know, you know you're on the right path. You know you're on the path to rising. And you simply look at it and you see it for what it is, and you understand the pain that someone has to be in to be living that way. I want that for you. The elevation, the expansion, the growth, the love, all the things that you wanted, need, deserve, and desire, the compassion, the integrity, the quality of life that you want to live. When you rise above all that, that is available when you go within, when you heal and you transform from those past pains and wounds, all the things that you went through. If you'd like more information on how to begin that journey or to connect one-to-one, you can find that in the link in the description below this video. Until then, know that it is very, very normal that as you begin to transcend, transform, heal, and rise above that, there are people who are going to feel that they're below that and are going to try to bring you back down to it. And it's not your job to do anything with that. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. Sending you so much love. I'll see you soon.